going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're doing our playthrough of the new Kizuna Kuja Pirates, the new Alliance Kizuna Fest that not Kizuna Fest, but the Alliance Kizuna that has released over here on the global side of the game. And we will be testing those crews that we did put together in our playthrough video. I'll try to remember to leave a link in the description for you guys. That way you can check them out. But basically, we are going to be testing all of those teams. So we do need to get ourselves some points first. And whenever it comes to getting our Kizuna tokens, you always want to bring double buggy. If you guys aren't aware, always bring double buggy. That's the best way to go about it. So I'm going to stock up on some tokens, and then I'm going to sort of fast forward to the boss fights. Alright, so we're going to start over here at the strength variation, and I thought I'd start with the free-to-play team. Now, I did make a bit of a blunder with my free-to-play team. I did have Garp as the captain, but unfortunately, I did misread Garp's captain ability. He doesn't actually give you recovery orbs when it comes to hitting perfects. He actually just lets you heal through perfects as well. Now, we are using the Aura Jackson as our ship now, and we do have Lucy as our captain. And we did bring Cavendish on this particular team because Cavendish will actually make us start with a full board of recovery orbs. That's just going to help us get through the hunger on the next turn. And then he's going to be our designated attack booster as well. Lucy's also a good attack booster. And then we've just added Luffy on this team for the chain lock. Eventually, you will replace Luffy with the Kuja Pirates themselves when you 5+ them, but obviously, ideally, you don't really want to be using this free-to-play team, but it is an option for you guys. So on stage 2 against Bowl, we are going to use our Lucy special. That's going to give us an orb buff, which is really, really handy, as that way we can actually just do enough damage to take out Kuja. We should just be able to take him out, or take them out, I guess, is the best way to put it, with the, okay, I thought with Ace Sabo, but like, whatever, we can't kill. This free-to-play team, oh, because I didn't get through the hunger. Wow, I'm a spoon. Like, I'm an actual spoon. I totally forgot to eat a meat orb. Lucky for us, we actually got fairly lucky and we got a meat orb there. Ideally, you would just eat a meat orb like this, and then, like, you would do enough damage to, like, take out the Kuja Pirates. I do apologize. This is really scuffed. I am at work at the moment, and I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible, and, like, things just haven't been going my way. Once the Kuja Pirates die, they obviously revive. They run away, and then we fight them again on the final stage. Because Lucy has that clock effect, he's actually going to give us a attack boost on the final stage, which is really, really nice of him. What we can do on this particular stage here, we can use the Luffy special. Luffy's going to rotate our orbs into T&D slots, which the Aura Jackson is going to make most of them matching for our crew. He's going to bind himself, however, though, which is a bit of a bummer. But he gives us the chain lock, which is great. Then we can actually use the orb boost of a Sabo to remove the bind on him as well. He's not actually getting boosted on this particular team, like, from both our captains. So, look, it really is what it is. Finally, we've got the Oars unit to remove the attack down once we hit level 30. But obviously, once you hit level 30, you can't really use that strat of Lucy. But as you can see here, like, we're just relying on the damage from... Oh, okay. Kizaru removes the chain lock. So we got to use the Kizaru special before the Luffy special. But like I said, Luffy won't really be there. You'll be relying on that chain boost anyway, so that Ace Sabo do all the damage. So that was the free-to-play team. Let's move on to the big damage team now. Alright, so the no Ace Sabo team looks a little bit like this. Now, if you guys don't have Jumanji, you could replace Jumanji with V2 Shirashiri. They're going to have a little bit more... not V2 Shirashiri, V2 Vivi Rebecca. They're going to have a little bit more color affinity, but if you are missing the rare recruit Zoro, you need a way to get that super typing for Luffy anyway. So, Jumanji's going to be a great option for you guys, as it's a Sanji unit, so that's going to trigger the super typing, and they are a fighter, where Vivi Rebecca are just a quick unit, so they are just going to get boosted under the Luffy captain as well. On stage 2, we are going to get Hunger and Despair, but like I said, if you stay as Ace, you will be absolutely fine. The only downside to this, now that I'm actually thinking about it, is we can't get around the Despair unless we switch. Like, if we switch with Ace right now, we're not going to be able to get around the Despair. But you could probably bring some supports to get around that. Corazon, Rayleigh, stuff like that. I imagine that will work absolutely fine. Because we don't need the Zoro special on the final stage, I am just going to use the Zoro special now. There's really no reason to hang on to it otherwise. We are just going to take out the Kuja Pirates, and then that way we can move on to the final stage. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Ace Sabo, they are rainbow against all types. So, like, just switching them with them on the final stage isn't that big of a deal anyway. Once we hit the final stage, we are going to get a full board of empty orbs and despair, so we can switch with a Sabo. They are going to normally give us, well, they give us a color affinity boost, but you can also get the super switch, which is normally 2.25. We have an orb boost, 2.5 times orb boost with them. We have an attack boost with Luffy. We have the base stats with Sabo. We get a full board of matching orbs with Law. We set the chain multiplier. We can switch with Jumanji to get the chain multiply buff. We can use the Jumanji special. And then obviously this Boa here is just literally in... she's just there as a placeholder for the Kuja 5+. You can then use the super typing of Luffy to get even more damage. You guys know the drill and you see how this team pretty much works. It should do a lot of damage moving forward, and if you are missing Ace Sabo, it is probably going to be a best option. Let's move on to the final team now, where I'm basically using my team, which has Ace Sabo. Alright, so moving on to the quick variation, this is the free-to-play team, so let's dive in. Obviously, the Kuja Pirates, again, they are, or the fire, not the fire tank, words are hard. Boa is obviously a placeholder for the Kuja Pirates. They are going to be really, really good, as they can give you that guaranteed conditional boost. We do have a friend Ace Sabo. As I mentioned in the previous variation, you want to bring Ace Sabo as your friend captain for pretty much every single one of these fights. They're really, really good at taking down these particular fights, and they work really, really well. On stage 2, we come up against Grandma Nyan. She is going to put up a rainbow shield, and that's why we have our girl Toki here. So Toki's going to give us some matching orbs and remove the 4 turns of damage reduction. And with that, we should be able to take her out here. Probably shouldn't have attacked with Ace Sabo first. I was meant to use the Sobama special as well. Your boy's a bit of a spoon today. Like I said, I am at work and I am sort of trying to rush this. It's actually making it take longer than it needs to. So apologies about me being a little bit frustrated here. But look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So we did want to actually use that Sobama special. If we use the Sobama special, we can get the chain buff, and then that way we can actually get the carryover effect. But unfortunately, your boy's a spoon. You guys know the drill, right? But we do have Boa on this particular team, so she's our chain locker, and she's going to work quite nicely for the meantime, until we do get our hands on the Kuja Pirates. So we do get a full board of block orbs. We're going to switch with Ace Sabo so we can actually get a color affinity boost. You can get the super switch as well for more damage if you are using this team. This team should work really, really nicely. It has an attack boost. It has an orb boost. We have color affinity. We can remove the paralysis. We can get chain lock. It all works very, very nicely here. And even like in these early stages, it's a bit of, okay, well, you want to use Boa before you use, well, actually you can't. Boa's actually going to rotate you into Sai, and okay, that's going to be a bit of an issue, but like I said, you'll have the chain boost from Sober Mask anyway, so that's really what you want to be using there. So Ace Harbor hit really, really hard. So that was the Dex team. Let's move on to the no Ace Sabo team now. Alright, so onto the no Ace Sabo team. We obviously are using a friend captain. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video and throughout this video, always bring an Ace Sabo friend captain. If you don't have an Ace Sabo friend captain, reload the game, talk to your friends, make sure to get one because it's going to help your drops drastically. With this particular fight, we are basically running a Cerebral based team, and it is going to work very, very nicely. The idea here is you do want to make sure that you stay as your quick characters, and then you can switch into your Dex characters on the final stage, except for on this particular stage against Grandma Nyan. She's going to put up 4 turns of damage reduction. So this is where we want to switch with Sanji Pudding. We can then use the Sanji Pudding special to remove that. They're a very, very good hit stick as well. A really, really good hit stick. And then we can actually just start doing damage this way. Now remember that Ace Sabo aren't actually boosted under the, what's his name? They're not actually boosted under Law unless they are in their Dex variation, but you ideally want to switch into them on the final stage. That way you can actually get the color affinity as well. We also get Block Orbs and Special Blind, which they are very, very good at removing as well. We're going to switch with them to get the color affinity. We're going to rotate those orbs. We can give ourselves an orb boost, but unfortunately, actually, yeah, I just realized that that's not ideal. You want to be, you actually want to be Sabo when you move into this stage to get around the special blind. That way you can actually get the orb boost of Nami and Robin. The orb boost of Nami and Robin is going to be a little bit more beneficial, as it's actually going to boost everyone. We're going to get a full board of Dex orbs, thanks to Law, extra damage, 2.5 times attack, 2.75 times attack. We can go into our dual forms here, so that way we do a little bit more damage. You can get the super typing of Law as well. We should be able to get that because we are at a nice chunky... No, we don't have anyone to trigger the super typing of Law apparently, so we might need to look at that option, seeing if we can put someone on the team. But honestly, it's not really going to matter because Sugar's just going to do so much goddamn damage, man. Like, having Sugar on a team when you have a chain boot and you're doing those chain boosting shenanigans, it just works so damn well. But that was the no Ace Sabo team. Let's move on to my team with the double Ace Sabo. And the final variation is against the Dex variation of the Kuja Pirates. So this was the free-to-play team that we did put together, so let's dive in. Obviously, once again, you want to make sure you bring Ace Sabo as a friend captain. If you don't have Ace Sabo, that's fine. Just make sure you're bringing in Ace Sabo, because not only do they boost drops, but they are just so good for all of these fights. Like, they are so ridiculously good. Our captain for this particular fight is Sakazuki and Fujitora. They are a 3.75 times captain in their dual form, and they have an amazing switch ability that is going to help us out on this next stage. We come up against Margaret. Margaret is going to bind our left-hand column, so that's why we want to have Usohachi on the right-hand side. They also give us a full board of unfavorable slots, but because we do have a Sabo, we can actually make them matching. So we do want to stay as, what's his name? Ace here. Ace is not going to get a boost, but with that, he's just going to give us those matching orbs. We do have that switch ability of, what's his name? Fuji and, wow, words are hard. Fuji and Akainu to do a bit of damage on this particular stage. And then on the second turn, oh, we're going to get slot binded. That's a bit annoying. On the second turn, we can basically just switch back into them, and we can try and take them out. We should be able to take them out here. You could use the Cavendish special, actually. I was meant to use the Cavendish special on that particular turn. So that way you get the chain lock for 2 turns as well. And that way you could easily take that stage out as well. Once again, your boy's a spoon. I'm at work. I'm rushing this, and I do apologize about that. On the final stage against the Kuja Pirates, we are going to get binded on our middle row. So what we want to do here is we want to switch with our Ace Sabo. Then we can use the Ace Sabo special. That is going to give us a orb boost for our free spirits and our shooters. We can remove the defense up with Carrot. That's going to all be very, very nice. Plus get an attack boost and an additional chain buff. We then have Ace to remove the threshold, which is going to be really, really cool. And then we can use the Sakazuki and Fujitora special to just give ourselves that higher chain, or that higher captain multiplier. We are just going to use this chain lock, actually. We may as well, right? Mainly because in this early stage, like, we should just be able to do something like this. Beautiful. Easy peasy. But with that chain boost, obviously Ace Sabo are going to do more damage. You just need to make sure that they are in the decks for variation. That way they are getting boosted under your leader as well. So that was the free-to-play team. Let's move on to the no Ace Sabo team now. Alright, so onto the no Ace Sabo team, obviously besides the friend captain against Dex. This is the particular team that I had put together. Now, I'm still unsure. I haven't really given it much thought. I haven't really looked into it. If the, like, Ace, Odin, Luffy, Sanji, I don't really know what's going to do more damage, to be honest. But nevertheless, it shouldn't matter all that much, as Sabo doesn't boost Ace Sabo, and, like, you kind of want them to be boosted, but then you also get the chain multiplier, so it's a bit of a, like, what-if situation. Once you get the Kuja Pirates, I do imagine putting the Kuja Pirates onto the team will help out a lot. But on stage 2, we get Bind, which we can remove thanks to Rayleigh. We are going to switch with Sabo. That way we can give ourselves some matching, well, rotate some of those orbs, give color affinity as well. But just remember that the Ace Sabo unit aren't actually getting boosted under Sabo himself. So you do want to start attacking with them first. You can switch with Luffy Sanji as well. Luffy Sanji are going to give us recovery orb from themselves, but unfortunately I just realized they're not actually getting boosted either under Sabo. So this is where maybe if you switch with them first, actually, and then switch with them on the second turn, that should work fine. So that's where I'm saying, like, maybe utilizing Ace is better. This is going to be a bad judgment of damage because we didn't actually get the additional chain boost from Sabo, which we could have easily just gotten at the end there. Like, we didn't really need to use his special there, but look, it is what it is. Once we get to the final stage against the Kuja Pirates, they are going to bind our middle row, but this is where Ace Sabo is an absolute weapon, because we can switch with them for color affinity. We can use their special for an orb boost, remove the bind, which is great. Usohachi can remove the defense up as well as the threshold when it comes around. We can get a chain lock with Ace. We can get some more matching orbs that way as well. We can use the super typing of Sabo. We have an attack boost with Luffy because we get the overheal mechanic, which is really, really nice. Unfortunately, we get a full board of orbs, recovery orbs, and Odin doesn't really matter too much, but as you can see, like, the damage is going to go up from there. So this team's a bit of a janky one. You're probably better off using something like Ace as your captain, to be honest, and then not worrying about all of those sort of shenanigans with the chain. But Sabo can do a lot of damage himself, so there is that option for you guys too. Let's move on to double Ace Sabo now. Alright, so I was going to include my teams for all the color variations, but for the quick and the strength one, it's literally just me putting Ace Sabo on the team over Zoro and over Vivi Rebecca. Like, the team doesn't change, like, at all, like, to be honest. So, like, I figured, like, what's the point? The only team that did drastically change was the one against strength. So this is the team that I am rocking with when it comes to strength for, like, the big damage. I do have the one team beats all coming up after this, but I just really wanted to include this one because this is the one that changed the most. Obviously, the boa down the bottom there, again, is in replacement for the Kuja Pirates. Once you guys do get them, you can get your conditional boost, so that is going to work quite nicely. And then we can move on from stage 2. And because we have Rayleigh, we can remove the bind, as you guys will see there. I do apologize, this video has been so rushed, by the way. I am at work, I'm on my lunch break, I'm just trying to pump this out as quickly as possible so I can get this out to you guys as quickly as I can. On the final stage against the Kuja Pirates, they put up the defense up, and they get Threshold after stage 30, so Usahachi's going to remove that. Ace Sabo can give us an orb boost. We can get like a full board of orbs with Luffy and Sanji. We're way over 50,000 HP. So that's where the Kuja is going to come into play, but for now we're just going to have a chain lock with them, which is great. But we also have the boost from what's his name, Sengoku on Law. Law's just here to give us that 1.5 extra damage, really no other reason. And as you guys will see there, like, we're going to do so much damage, it's not even funny. But like I said, I do have that one team completes all, and let's wrap up this video. Alright, so the final fight of the video that I did want to include is actually Among Us's team, where one team beats all variations. Now, this particular team can do a lot of damage, as I've been told, and it can actually just work for literally every single one of these color variations against the Kuja Pirates. So if you guys are looking for a team that's just sort of like very brain dead and you don't really want to have to think about it, this particular team is going to be the team for you guys. And honestly, it's probably the team that I'm going to use moving forward. That way I can just literally just get through these runs a lot quicker. And that way I just don't have to worry about sort of changing teams, bringing the wrong teams, and relying on people to save me too much. But the key to this particular team is a bunch of supports. You do need to make sure you have Rayleigh, Corazon, and the support of the, what's his name? Chopper on your Luffy and Sanji. Luffy and Sanji aren't going to be like boosted on every single event because they're just not, unfortunately. Like, they don't get their cooldowns, but you don't really need them for their cooldowns. They're literally just here for their chain multiplier, so you can switch with their chain. And with that, you should be in good stead. You have the damage reduction, the defense up threshold removal, and damage reduction in bobbins, as well as attack down. You have the special bind removal with Ace Sabo. You have like matching orbs, block orb manipulation, color affinity. Like, you literally have everything, literally, with the two color, like the two Ace Sabos. Luffy's going to give us like a chain multiplier buff. Law's going to extend the chain. Like, it's just, this team does so much, and it's just going to work so well moving forward, even without having like super color affinity, because Ace Sabo literally are super effective against all types. So it's going to work really, really nicely, and big shout out to Among Us. So that's going to wrap up the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button. Best of luck to everyone in the Alliance Kizuna. And if you are new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later!